It's February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. This is the Randcast on behalf of Premier Pro Wrestling. Please like and subscribe if you would be so kind. This is a teaser for our podcast, which is in its entirety, along with, it looks like, over 200 matches on our Patreon.
Did you have a Valentine this Valentine's Day, Randy?
No Valentine.
Me neither.
Why not?
Just haven't got to get myself out there.
I went to another gas station that I usually go to, and I'm gonna have to be scared out of that one too, because there's another one. I don't know what's with these 70-something-year-old broads.
With Cupid's arrow.
They want to shoot me with their filthy female ejaculation. It's disgusting. 70-something-year-olds with this. I don't know where they get the confidence from. All I know is this: if I talk to somebody the way these women do, you could call the cops. You know what I mean? So now I'm going to be scared out of that one and saving $1 on 2 packs of cigarettes because I'm afraid to go in there.
That's a bummer, man.
That was yesterday. I couldn't believe it. She's almost as bad as the other one. Just has more teeth and thinner, but geez.
Well,
what is it with me and the 70-year-olds? Why can't it be 35-year-olds?
well, that's just the way it is.
I guess. But yeah, that was my Valentine, this old hag hitting on me and being inappropriate. So what I wanted to talk about is the current state of the industry and pretty much what it takes. You have to be technically sound. You have to be naturally big or naturally good looking. You have to have heart. But it's not just that. The people that are making money in this industry today are mentally, emotionally, and spiritually fit.
Let's not forget charisma, too.
Yeah, well, I think that goes with the whole thing, too. When WWE is asking for talent and saying what you need, they don't say charisma, which is wild.
Yeah.
But I think they figure they can work with you, you know? I mean, look at Bobby Lashley. He was there when you were there. Did they do anything with him on the top?
Yeah, they did. They
on
tried.
top.
They tried, yeah.
I don't even remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I do. You know? Is MVP the best mouthpiece in the industry? No. But together, they're pretty damn good. And when they let Bobby just be Bobby with his legit MMA background, at least he sends a few chills down your spine at that size, you know?
Yeah.
So, the first thing I want to bring up is Keith Lee. Do you know Keith Lee?
No.
Never, huh? You never seen him work?
Mm-hmm. No.
Well, he's this great big kid with a shitload of potential. 300 pounds plus, tall too, I don't know exactly, but unbelievable. You know? The problem is he's getting old, you know, and he had 3 World Wrestling Entertainment tryouts after an indie quote end quote career. He sent out all these messages of love for WWE finally signing him. He was ready to give up after 12 years. And he was Mr. Humble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, if you've been at it for 12 years, and at his size, he's trying to do all this fucking stuff that big guys can't do, I get it, you know? Because I was young once, too. And it's kind of, in a way, I compare it to something like overtraining. You know, I used to do 24 sets for biceps and expect they're going to grow. You know what I mean?
Did you use Keith Lee?
No, I never used them.
Okay.
No. But point is, he did his debut for AEW, and they, as usual, Big Mouth Khan, he promised them some shit that just didn't happen, and Keith Lee half-ass covered their ass as far as the live attendance went and internet attendance went.
Did he work for Vince?
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to get at. He worked for Vince. He got you sign a contract, right? Where is it? Where can you work and you know what you're getting into? Not only that, but you begged for a job. You had 3 tryouts. Then you get hired. And then when you're there and you missed all that time, but you got paid in spite of COVID. You know what I mean? You know, the shutdowns, all that bullshit. Then motherfucker gets COVID right when they start running live events again. Bah, bah, bah. But all of a sudden they decide they don't like it. You know? And God bless, so you're old now. Where are you going to make your money? Working for AEW? Tony Khan says that's the difference. A month ago, 6 weeks ago, that's the difference between WWE and myself. When somebody signs with me, they know they have a job for life. No, they don't. Because the same fucking guy said end of last week, with all these new signings, I'm not going to be able to renew these contracts. Which one is it, you fucking little mark? You know what I'm saying? So he's working there. He's 40 to 50 pounds heavier. Let's be nice and say 30 pounds heavier. He's with his age and the weight, he's not going to be able to do what he could, which is what they expect out of him now.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years since he's been in a ring or been in ring shape if you take COVID into consideration. And at NXT, like just you guys, like even at Al's, they did drills. Mm-hmm. Even after Danny left and Cornette was there, they did drills. You don't do that to break balls or establish dominance. You do that to keep ring timing. Just like we used to work every night to have ring timing. You can't be hurt. You're used to it. Your shelf life is longer, you know. I got Manny, Kalisto, Pentagon Jr., Samurai Del Sol. I got him his tryout. I helped get him hired. And the same thing happened there, where his mental and emotional isn't balanced. So he was never able to take the ball and run with it when given the opportunity. I told him, I'm sure they told him, that they were grooming him to be the next Mysterio 8-9 years ago, you know? Because he could do cool shit. He could do shit Ray can't do, or couldn't do at this age, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't handle his politics well, and then just, you know, became a mark for himself and started to believe the hype, you know? So he stunted his own growth right in the middle of a run. Today I'm online, and another guy got a tryout the same time as Kalisto, Lorenzo Hood. You've heard me talk about him before, right?
Yeah.
He, you just never seen a more dedicated guy to his training and his fitness, and you've never seen a 290-pounder move like this guy does. He's an amazing athlete. He's tough as shit, legit, but he's emotionally fucked. Because now he starts to make another little headway in yet another sport, MMA, and he failed a drug test, and now he's suspended for 2 years. At his age, in 2 years, it's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have guys on this roster that have so much potential. And one of them, he's very talented. He's popular on YouTube. He has appeal, you know, and I can say that being the number 33 out of 100 top YouTube channels in the world, wrestling channels in the world. But he fucking doesn't get it. Everything he does correct, he shoots himself in the foot because the emotional stability, the mental, the spiritual. I've got PTSD and depression, you know. I could share some creepy, fucked up stories with you. I'm fucked up, but I'm the first one to admit it because guess what? I want fucking relief. You know what I mean? Why does it hurt people so much to say I need help? Why does it hurt people so much to step over their ego and look at the big picture? You know what I mean? In my opinion, and I don't know whatever, but it's a pretty educated opinion as far as forecasting in this industry goes. Keith Lee, if he had his emotional stability and didn't have low self-esteem, and I know he has low self-esteem because the ego is nothing but a mask for the low self-esteem, could finish his last years as finish up with Vince and be a top guy with that size and believability and look. Instead, he's going to do a 2-year deal with Khan and end up with a few bucks in his pocket, but he's going to have to be looking for a job in 2 years, you know? You know what I mean? I think he's too old for Vince to take again in 2 years. You know what I mean? Not like Lashley. When Lashley was there with you, how old was he? 20s, right?
Yeah, in his mid-20s.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, look at the picture, you know? And there's a good example. Bobby Lashley left and went to TNA when TNA was on Spike. TNA had no idea what to do with him. But he was smart. They used him sparsely, and the biggest part about him is he kept his mouth shut for 2 years, 3 years. He never talked bad about WWE. He never said shit about shit. Look at him now. He's already made in this last big push enough money to retire on if he played his cards right. I bet you that guy's got 5 years left of being within the top 10 on that roster. And that's where you want to be if you want to make a living. For the love of the industry is great. We all love the industry. Do you still love the industry?
Sure.
I love the piss out of the industry. But I respect the industry. Can you love someone or be in love with someone and not respect them? Individuals? No, you fucking can't. You know, I've tried. You know, it turns into empathy is the bottom line. I had some sort of whacked out bond with my wife because we had children. But I did the old school shotgun wedding bullshit and it was a nightmare. You know what I mean? Did I love her? I loved the denominator of having 3 children with her, but no, I don't think I ever loved her. I didn't know her well enough before I married her, and most of it was just my fucking stubborn stability and false senses of responsibility to be there and do the right thing. You know what I mean? Same thing goes for this industry. You go into business for yourself, you're not working for the betterment of the industry. You know, there's nothing wrong with getting help, especially today, you know? I've been doing it off and on since I'm 14 years old. I wouldn't have got sober if I hadn't have even gone to therapy then, sparsely. Lied to the guy for a couple of years. Then it was undeniable. Motherfucker said, gee, it's about time the light bulb went off over your fucking head, kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still go. And if I didn't go, there would be a pile of fucking bodies. With my alcoholism and drug addiction, it wasn't dying I was afraid of. What I was afraid of was ending up being incarcerated for life.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the death penalty than be incarcerated for life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On a smaller scale, this industry, you don't go and give your word and sign a contract and then decide that it's not fun. What industry does that once you've signed a contract?
Right.
You write out your contract with a smile on your face. That way, the door is open to come back and you're more valuable. It's common sense. Mm-hmm. You know? Yes, there were people that were marks for themselves, but their plans are more fail-safe, i.e. when I was a kid, I loved Jerry Lawler. I didn't like Jerry Lawler when I was working in Memphis. He was an asshole to me, a total asshole to me. But I respected him, and I loved the fact that he slept in his bed every night and was making $300,000 a year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sweet.
You know, but he could do it. They were dependent on him. The industry isn't like that anymore, and Vince changed that a long time ago after he shit-canned Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a business. It's an industry. Now, Japan isn't back to normal. Who knows if Japan wrestling will ever get back to normal? Neither is AAA. But nobody's going to retire on AAA money. You could if you stay there for 10 years and really get over and live down there, you know. But no white guys are going to do that.
Yeah.
Look at Japan. Who are their top guys? Orange Cassidy, the Switchblade, Jay, whatever the fuck. They're not fucking going to retire.
Yeah.
They're $140, $1 let's say $150. You better be able to do that shit at $150 if you're going to call yourself a fucking wrestler. You know? But they're not making retirement money. If things are going so good in Japan, why would they come in and work for Tony Khan and AEW? Why?
Yeah.
You know? That's what I'm talking about. I would rather be, and I think anybody with a normal brain would rather be Dolph Ziggler, who in his last 2 contracts made almost $4 million, than Jay White, Orange Cassidy, Keith Lee. Am I an idiot? No, am I an idiot to think that way?
No.
You know? So that's what it takes. And don't forget, like there's so much anti-WWE, man. I can't believe the drama I see for it, you know. When everybody on that side they act like AEW is the savior. They say that term. Tony Khan is the savior. You know, I read that today, man, in more than one spot. World Wrestling Entertainment sets the bar, sets the pace. If I'm lying, then why is Tony Khan teaming Jon Moxley and Bryan Daniels right now? Why do Bryan Daniels and Jon Moxley make more than QT Marshall? They would be nothing without Vince, and the proof is in the pudding. Look at what they mean now. Look at the amount of merchandise either one of those guys sells now compared to one Raw and one fucking T-shirt or goddamn hemp-made heavyweight title on motherfucking WWEshop.com. You know, so that's what I'm talking about. If you're a wrestler, you know, and this spills into that other thing, the issue that we had, you know, you've got to be able to do what you're told. And if you can't, like, it's the oldest trick in the book. Ernie the Big Cat Ladd was the first black man to stand up and say he wasn't going to do the job anymore. You know, if you're going to stand up and say that, you'd better mean something, but more importantly, you better have a better answer. Mm-hmm. And he did. He knew how to get more over and mean even more by coming up with something else. Now, that's a creativity that you don't get anywhere else except from experience. The man played in the NFL, and then he mastered the politics of this after. You know, you don't come in and you do that shit, and you certainly don't do that shit when you're Keith Lee's age or Prince Abibu, Mufasa's age. You know what I mean? Look at the kid, I forget his name now. They call him, I don't know what they call him. Little Australian prick, he was a high flyer, came to work for Vince and started pouting within the first year. The thing is, he signed a 5 or 6 year deal. He signed a long deal. So as soon as he started pouting, Vince put him on the shelf. Yeah. His best years are behind him. He's that long-haired, bearded kid that the internet fan referred to as the savior back then.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, Enzo?
No, not him.
Oh, I don't know.
He's a worker that's a high spot monkey. But anyway, he means nothing now, and he's not even considered undercard for AEW. Where's he going to go? What's he going to do? It's over. He could be retiring if he just learned to play ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is a business, you know? And I'll close with this. A lot of what I have to do to live sober, I got a soul search. I got a soul search every day, you know? I have to know my checks and balances. I have to know what's good, what's bad, and I got to get rid of what's bad, you know? I didn't understand what they meant when I got sober, or understand when I was a kid growing up when I first learned about the 7 deadly sins and pride. Because I was like, pride, of course. Why wouldn't I take pride in my appearance? Why wouldn't I take pride in my accomplishments? And that's not what it is. It's ego. It's what it grows into. You know what I'm saying? I've heard, and basically, when you have that kind of pride, which I like to refer to for my own brain as false pride, it is just a gigantic mask for fear. And fear is what is considered to be an evil and a corroding thread, and we're fucked when we live a life based upon fear. So don't forget, like, subscribe, check out our Patreon, subscribe there. The content is unbelievable. It's February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. This is the